Hi, this is Kirti, founder of Pisence Technologies. We are a cybersecurity focused and IoT company. So, in this video, I want to clarify to people about what is VAPT. This is a complete guide for business. So, if you want to know what the VAPT stands for and what we do in VAPT, you can continue this video. Let me ask you something. Let me start this with a question. If I told you right now that there is a door into your business, your system, your financial records, your data, your systems, financial and customer data, PA, whatever it is. So that's been sitting open for months. Would you want to know about it? Of course you would, right? But there is a scary part. Most businesses don't know, not because they don't care, but because they never checked. That's exactly what VAPT is for. Most people confuse VA and PD as same thing. So VAPT is the full form is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. It's a process of finding those open doors before an attacker does and locking them down. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through everything what VAPT actually is, the different types, the tools professionals use, and why your business, whether you are a small company or big company, SaaS, fintech, whatever it is. If you want to know what VAPT is about and how hackers break into it, continue this video. So let's start. What is VAPT stands for? So VA means vulnerability assessment and PT means penetration testing. So it's VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. So VAPT is actually two things combined. Apologies for my handwriting. So the first part, vulnerability assessment. This is the scanning phase. You will you will essentially running automated tools across your entire system. Or if it might be your networks, it might be your application, your servers, whatever it is, and creating a list of every known weakness. Think of it like a doctor ordering a food panel. You're diagnosing anything. You're just gathering data, finding out whether things might be off or anything might go off, something like that. Worst case scenarios. The second part is penetration testing. This is where the trained professional actually tries to exploit those weaknesses. So then we as a professionals, what a real attacker would do. If a hacker is going to crack into a system, what they would do. That's what we will do in the penetration testing. Think of it like hiring someone to break into your own building, not to cause damages, but to find out exactly how far they could get in if they wanted to. That's what these things professionally sounds like. Yeah. Together, the VA and PT gives you a full picture, not just here's what weak, but here's what bad would it would cost. That's what the VAPT report would give you. So, so why one without the other isn't enough? So let me explain you that. The vulnerability scan alone just gives you a long technical list of hundreds of potential issues without any context. It will just give you a technical reports. That's it. So without context, the list of overwhelming and often misleading if you're not technical a person. Some of those vulnerabilities are low risk. Most of them are low risk. Some are critical. Without a pen tester actually testing them, you don't know which could possibly a critical one, which can be a lower one. So without a penetration testing, we cannot find that. So on the flip side, a penetration testing without a vulnerability assessment is like trying to find a needle blindfoldedly. That's how the without a VA the PAT sounds like. So you're just guessing where to look. So VAPT combines both systematically discover plus real world simulations. That's where it makes the VAPT sounds professional. So there are five types of VAPT. I will explain one by one. So first one is network. So this is a type one. Let's say type one, type two. So this is the most common starting point. A network VAPT looks at everything connected to your business, your networks, routers, firewalls, switches, servers, endpoints, everything. The goal is to find the misconfiguration, open ports that shouldn't be open, and outdated firmwares, weakness, I mean weak encryption, and any entry point an attacker could possibly get into your system infrastructure. So it covers both your internal network, the one your employee use, your external networks, the part of infrastructure that can be exposed to the internet. Okay, if you have never done any security testing, this is usually where you start. It gives a broadcast picture of your entire exposure, yeah, networks. So who basically needs this? That's a question, right? So any business with an office network, servers, cloud infrastructure, or any remote employee connected in. So they need this network VAPT. So next we have the type 2 web application VAPT. Okay, so this one focus entirely on your web applications, your computer's website, your customer portal, your e-commerce platform, your website, or any internal tools, anything that runs on the browser. So web apps are one of the most attacked surface in the cybersecurity right now. Why? Because they are publicly facing. Anyone in the world could interact with them, right? So a web application VAPT test for things like SQL injection, where an attacker can manipulate your database through basic input fields. So maybe I can also show you the real world examples like XSS or SQL injection, cross-site scripting, thing like that. So it's a cross-site scripting, as I mentioned, where malicious code get injected into a pages like in the input fields, broken authentication where your login system can be bypassed, insecure APIs where your backend data could be exposed through poorly secure endpoints. The standard, well, the framework. Let's talk about the framework. The standard framework used for web application testing is called OWASP. 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 OSWAP. Top 10. So this is a globally recognized list of most critical web applications vulnerabilities. So any serious web application VAPT will cover all of this. So who needs this? Any business with a website that handles user data, logins, payments, or handling PA information or any form submissions, they need web application VAPT. So next we have mobile application. Let me okay. So if your business has a mobile application, iOS app, Android, or both, it needs its own security assessments. So mobile application have unique attack surface. The communication with backend servers through APIs. They store data locally on the device. That they use the third-party libraries that can have their own vulnerabilities. So a mobile VAPT test the apps itself, the APIs it talks to it, the data it stores on the device, and how it handles the authentication, session management, cookies, and so on. This is what mobile app VAPT does. So a lot of companies build a great web application or application and complete forget their mobile application. That's a gap attackers activity file look for. So who needs mobile application VAPT? Any business that has customer facing or employee facing mobile application, they will need the mobile app VAPT. Next we have is API VAPT. So APIs, application programming interface. Any so let's keep it this way. This APIs are the behind the screens of connections between the systems. Your website talks to a database through APIs. Your mobile app talks to a server through APIs. Third party integration works through APIs. So API security testing is increasingly its own discipline because APIs are now one of the top attack vectors. They're often less visible than websites, which means they get less security attention. But it's not. Attackers know it. If API if API checks things like broken object level authentication, where users can access data that belongs to other users, mass statement was vulnerabilities, rate limiting issues, insufficient login, exposed credentials in API responses. If a business use any kind of modern software stack, and most do, right? So API is one of the critical part of the security service. Who needs this? Any business using REST or GraphQL APIs, third-party integrations, or microservice architecture, they need the API VAPT. API VAPT is one of the most increasing things. So last one, social engineering VAPT. So this might sound different. Well, this one is actually different. It doesn't test your technology, it tests your people. Social engineering penetration testing involves stimulating the human side of cyber attacks. Phishing email campaigns sent to your employees to see who clicks. Phishing, like that's voice phishing. Phishing means voice phishing. So where someone calls to a team and pretending to be IT support or a vendor. Physically testing where someone tries to walk into your system or your office under a false pretense. That's what phishing means. VISHING phishing. The uncomfortable truth is that most successful cyber attacks don't start with a sophisticated technical expert. They start with the people, the human layer, the physical layer. Then people being manipulated into doing something, clicking into a link, sharing passwords, letting someone into a server rooms. Social engineering testing tells you where your human vulnerabilities are, and then you fix them with training and process flow. That's the first part, not just softwares. So who needs this? Every business, no matter how good your technology is, your people are always a factor. So no matter what, do the social engineering VAPT to a company. That's very important. So I have explained the five types of VAPT. Now let me clarify the sections of VAPT process. So in this, there are actually five types. I mean, five sections. Let's call it phase. So phase one, scoping and planning. So let me explain it. Before anything technical happens, the security team sits with the define exactly what's being tested, right? So which system, which application, what in scope, and what's out of scope, what are critical in the systems, what are the rules of the engagement. These steps are critical for every systems or every companies. A proper scope protects your business and ensures testers know exactly where they can and where they cannot go. So these things are done in the scoping and planning. So next is phase two. Kansas. Let me see. So this is the intelligence gathering phase. The testers collected as much as information about your environment as they can, and publicly available informations, DNS records, IP address, employee information on LinkedIn's technology stacks used on a website. This minor exactly what a real attacker would do before launching an attack, like information gatherings. The more you know about the target, the more precise and effective the attack can be. So these things are done in the phase two. So next we have this phase three, vulnerability scanning. Now the automated tools come in. The testers use comprehensive scans against your systems to identify known vulnerabilities, software versions with known exploits, misconfigured services, open ports, weak cryptography. This produces a detailed list of potential weakness which directly into the next phase. So next is the exploitation and penetration testing. Let me add it here. Phase four. Exploitation. Okay. So this is where the skilled human element takes in. The security professionals attempts to actually exploit the vulnerabilities discovered in the phase three. So phase three is the vulnerability scanning, as you know, in a controlled and authorized way. They're trying to answer one of the questions like mm, what to say. If someone attacked your system through this vulnerability, how far could you actually get? Could they access your database? Could they move lateral across your network? Could they escalate their privileged admin level? Or they exfiltrate data without being detected? So this phase produces the real intelligence, not just watch speak, but actually exploit and serve the impact. Okay. So and the phase five is reporting and remediation. Okay. So after testing, you receive a detailed report that covers every findings related to the severity, criticality, high, medium, low. It explains what was found, how it was exploited, what's the potential of business impact, and exactly what to do to fix it. A good VAP report is not just a technical document; it's an executive summary of business leaders and a technical session for your IT team. Both groups get what they need. The work doesn't stop at the report. Most good security firms will also offer remediation support, helping you actually fix the issues. We do that. In Pisence Technologies, we do that. And retest to confirm the fixes were effectively fixed by your team. So get a good team. That's important. So next, let's see about the tools and technologies. So next we have tools and technology. So first, so let's talk tools. This is the part that gets technical, but let's keep it accessible. These are actually tools that security professionals use while conducting the VAPT. I'll group them by what they do. So first we have is Nmap. It's the most common used. So Nmap Network Mapper is one of the most fundamental tools in cybersecurity. Everybody use it. It scans your network to discover what hosts are active, what ports are open, what services are running, and what operating system are in use. Think of it as the equivalent of walking around a building to find every door and window before you try to get in anywhere. You need to know what's there, right? So that's what Nmap does. So next we have is show SHODA short. Short is often called the Google for hackers. It's a search engine that indexes internet connected devices and the services. Security professionals use it to see what parts of infrastructure are publicly visible from internet, often revealing things that were never meant to be public. So it's assured us. Then we use the harvester and multiple. Sure, VSTER and sure. So these tools collect publicly available intelligence, email address, domain information, employee names, IP ranges, and social media profiles. This is kind of information a real attacker would gather before targeting a business. So next, let's see about the scanning tools. In scanning, we have okay. In scanning, we have an SS, US SS, OpenWAS. We have Nikto. These are most commonly used. So Nessus is one of the industry's leading vulnerability scanners. We use it. Everybody uses it. It runs compressive scans against the system and produces a prioritized list of vulnerabilities with severity ratings and remediation guidelines. It's widely used in enterprise environments because of its depth and reliability. Then we have OpenWAS. OpenWAS is one of the open source alternative to Nessus. It's free and powerful and used extensively in both professional assessments and internal security teams. It checks for hundreds and thousands of vulnerabilities across the network systems and services. And Nikto is web server scanner. It looks specifically at web servers and identify dangerous files, outdated software, server misconfiguration, common vulnerabilities, like that. It's a fast, widely used tool for internal assessment of any web-facing systems. That's what I was told. And let's go into main tools, PT tools. In web pen tester testing, we use VAPT. So one of the main tools for everybody use. So WebSuite is one of the gold standard for web application security testing. It acts as a proxy between your browser and the web applications, allowing the tester to intercept, inspect, and modify every single request and response. With the help of WebSuite, a tester can manually test for SQL injections, cross-site scriptings, authentication bypass, session management issues, and dozens of other web application vulnerabilities. The professional version also includes automated scanning capabilities. Only the professional cybersecurity companies use the professional version Pro, WebSuite Pro. If you are serious about web application security, WebSuite is the tool that professionals use. Note that up. Okay. Next, we have is OSPAP Zap. Z-Attack proxy is a free open source alternative to WebSuite Pro. It's developed by the which one? Open Web Application Security Project and is widely used by both manual and automated testing. It's excellent for teams that are just building out their security testing capabilities. Then we have SQL Map. SQL Map is specialized tool that automates the detection and exploitation of SQL injection vulnerabilities. It can automatically test your input fields and parameters across web applications to determine if vulnerability to the database attacks, and if you are, how far the attacker can go. So what it does. Next, the exploitation framework, we have Metasploit. Everybody would know about this name. Next, we have mm, if browser exploitation framework. So in Metasploit is the most widely used penetration testing framework in the world. It contains thousands of pre-built exploits for known vulnerabilities across huge range of servers, systems, and applications. When a security tester wants to simulate an attack against a specific vulnerability, say let's an outdated version of web server, Metasploit likely has a model for it. It takes what would be a complex manual attacks and makes structure and repeatable. Mm, This is one of the most powerful tools in the industry. It's also why keeping the software updated is so critical. Most of Metasploit's exploits target known patchable and vulnerabilities. Okay, so this BEF browser exploitation framework, we focus on browser side vulnerabilities. We test how far an attacker can go once they are managed to execute JavaScript in your user's browser, which is common consequences as cross-site scripting attacks. It demonstrates that real-world impact on client-side vulnerabilities. Then in password and authentication, we have a Hashcat, John the Ripper, and things like that. Then we have Hydra. It's not main things. Let me also then explain about the Hashcat and John the Ripper. These are password cracking tools. It's also available in Linux for free. When a tester gains access to hashed passwords from database, which is what gets stolen in a data breach, right? So they use tools like Hashcat and John the Ripper to attempt to crack them. The purpose isn't to actually steal your password; it's to show you how quickly weak the password policies collapse under your attack. Your passwords can be cracked in minutes or even in few hours. That's a critical finding that needs to be addressed through policy changes. Okay. Next, we have wireless and network testing. In that, we have AirTrack NG. It's important. And Wireshark. Wireshark. Everybody needs to know about Wireshark. Wireshark is important here too. So Wireshark is a network protocol, and it captures and inspects all the traffic moving across network in a real time. Security testers use it to identify unencrypted communication, transmission in the plain text, and unusual network behavior that might indicate a collapse. So, and for reporting and documentation, there is DARIS framework. DARIS is a collaboration and a reporting platform used by security teams during assessments. It allows teams to document findings in real time, track progress, and generate professional reports like that. Next, let's see. Now, let's see who needs VAPT and how often. Okay. So at this point, you might be asking, is this really for me or is this only for large enterprises? To be honest, if your business handles any kind of information or any sensitive data that operates online or it would be significantly impacted by downtime, VAPT is for you. Yes, you need VAPT. That's very necessary thing for every business. That includes e-commerce business, healthcare providers, fintech, bankings, financial sectors. Every company needs it. SaaS companies, professional service firms, every small business that store client data needs VAPT. As as for frequency, security isn't one-time exercise. Most industry standards recommend a full VAPT at least once a year. And additionally, after a major change, a new web application launch, a cloud migration, a significant infrastructure change, threat evolve, new vulnerability are discovered every day. A system that has a secured 12 months ago maybe not be secured today. Like I'll give you example like compliance frameworks like ISO 27001, PCI DSS for payment card industry. PCI means payment card industry and data security standards, and the HIPAA for healthcare and SOC 2 for SaaS companies or require regular security assessments. VAPT is often a core part of meeting those requirements. Okay, so next let me close this with let me bring this home. Okay, yeah, VAPT isn't about paranoid. Okay, it's about being professional. It's about knowing exactly where you stand before someone with bad intentions finds out for you. Okay, the businesses that get hit harder aren't always the one with worst security. They are the ones with never bother to check. Even Google can be hacked, even Pisence can be hacked, even you can be hacked. There are just two types of business that got hacked and that will be get. That's going to get hacked. Only two types of business. So if you understand what VAPT is, a systematic professional process of finding and validating vulnerabilities in the system before an attacker does, you know the five types: network, web application, mobile API, and social. You understand the five phases of the process: scoping, reconnaissance, scanning, exploitation, and reporting. And if you've seen tools that professionals use to do this work, from Nmap, Nessus to Bubsuit to Metasploit and whatever it's beyond. If you want to take the next step, you want someone to actually assess your what your business standard right now. That's exactly what we do. So contact Pisence Technologies. There is a number in the description. It's 9080575392, or you can go to and check out our website pisence.com. There will be a bunch of services we provide. We do all kinds of cybersecurity services, not only VAPT. We provide compliance works, SOC 2 Type 2, ISO 27001, PCI, whatever it is. We take care of all kinds of cybersecurity works for you, and we also provide outsourced employees. We work with fintech banks, SaaS companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, everything. Okay, so see you on the next one. Thank you for watching so long.